हेलो फ्रेंड्स, लेट्स अदर डिस्कस ऑफ एनटीए मॉक टेस्ट पेपर। बात करते हैं यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट की। तो क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट देखते हैं। विद इंक्रीज इन टर्जिडिटी ऑफ अ सेल सराउंडेड बाय वाटर द wall presses ओके इंक्रीज। क्वेश्चन नंबर सेकेंड, the special techniques for collections and preservations of specimens are required in herbaria and museum, यानी कि herbarium and museum are required. Question number third, which of the following is not vectorless methods of gene transfections of retrovirus? क्वेश्चन नंबर फोर, इसमें करेक्ट मैच करना है, कौन सा करेक्ट मैच है। abnormalities in the host is associated to Wuchereria, Plasmodium and Fasciola respectively. Okay, Wuchereria for okay lymphitis, okay lymphitis। और उसके बाद फिर प्लाज्मोडियम की बात करते हैं। प्लाज्मोडियम होता है फेब्रिल पैरोक्सिसिम। ओके, दिस इज नॉट फॉर करेक्ट, आई होप, आई थिंक, बट फैसियोला रिस्पेक्टिवली फैसियोला की अगर बात करते हैं तो फैसियोला इज हाइपरप्लेसिया। क्वेश्चन नंबर फाइव, सिकल सेल एनीमिया की बात करें तो सेलेक्ट इज द मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट ऑप्शंस इन। क्वेश्चन नंबर सिक्स, इन Escherichia coli, according to operon concepts, an operator gene combines with regulators protein to switch off structural gene transcription. Question number 7. Mule is sterile. Question number 8. Blood cholesterol lowering agent competitively inhibits the enzyme for cholesterol synthesis. Question number 9. Theory of spatial creations was given by Father Saurage होगा, गलत लिया है। Question number 10. Genetic modifications has made crops more tolerant to abiotic stresses, reduced reliance and on chemical pesticides, helped to reduce post-harvest losses. All of these are correct. Question number 11. Eutrophication is caused due to inorganic input. Question number 12. In which one pair both the plants can be vegetatively propagated by leaf segments, bryophyllum and calonchi? Okay. Question number 13. Which of the following contraceptive devices makes the uterus unsuitable for implantations and the cervix hostile? The sperms is LNG20 because it is hormones releasing LNG20 and progestastat. Question number 14. Transfer of pollen grains from the another anther to the stigma of another flower of the same plant is called zytonogamy. Question number 15. Which of the following is the most stable ecosystems ocean? Question number 16. Which of the following levels of biodiversity is involved in the formations of ecotype, okay, process of speciation for enabling a populations to adapt according to the changes during in the environment? I hope genetic diversity. Question number 17. Which of the following is not a functions of Sertoli cells? They produces a glycoproteins in bin to cause feedback inhibitions of FSS. This is correct, but they provide nourishment to developing spermatozoa उसके बाद फिर they form blood testis barrier, ये भी correct है, but option D is not correct because they release anti-Wolffian factors. No. Question number 18. Porous wood is generally of angiosperms. Question number 19. Corynebacterium glutamycin, okay, is the relate of lysine. फिर हालोबैक्टीरियम, गैस वैक्यूल्स, फिर क्रिस्टपायरा की बात करें तो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी इन शेप, फिर बैसिलस माइकोइड्स की बात करें तो होता है मिनरलाइजेशन से रिलेट करता है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 20. Which of the following can increase blood pressures due to their vasoconstriction actions? Aldosterones, vasopressin. Question number 21. Which skeletal disorders occur due to low level of estrogens? Osteoporosis. Question number 22. Which one of the following conditions is seen in the roots of a plant having submerged assimilatory roots and spongy petioles? Monarch butterfly. Monarch. Question number 23. जो टच इज आल्सो रिलेट ऑफ सेंसरी पेपली, स्मेल की बात करें तो नेसल एपिथेलियम, फिर क्रेनियल नर्व्स की बात करें, क्रेनियल नर्व्स आल्सो रिलेट ऑफ पेरिफेरल नर्वस सिस्टम्स, फिर मेडुला ऑब्लोंगाटा ऑफ फोरम एंड मैग्नम। क्वेश्चन 24, काफ़ी लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन है। वेगस नर्व डिक्रीज द रेट ऑफ इम्पल्स फॉर्मेशंस फ्रॉम द एसे नोड्स एंड इट्स कंडीशंस। क्या पूछा क्या है? अच्छा करेक्ट पूछा है, ये करेक्ट है। फिर एज द ह्यूमन्स हार्ट इज मायोजेनिक इन नेचर्स, the rate of formations of conductions of cardiac impulse cannot by change by the actions of nerves cannot, this is wrong. फिर the end of T wave in ECG marks the end of systole, ये correct है। Question number 4. If the P wave in ECG is inverted, it indicates that SA node fails to initiate impulse and the atrial muscles depolarizes by the impulse originating in the AV node. Question number 25. Wrong combinations इसमें बताना है। Haploid endosperms archegonium present but antheridium absence, okay, gymnosperms correct है। But triploid endosperms and seven-celled females gametophyte called embryo sac angiosperm, this is correct। plus option C, embryo stage absent reproductions by mitospores algae, ये भी correct है। but option D, gametophyte independent biflagellate gametes and reproductions by accessory spores mosses, this is not so correct। Question number 26. What will be effect on curvature if gelatin is placed between coleoptile tips and the coleoptile and then exposed to unidirectional light? Curvature towards light occurs, okay। Question number 27. A single strand of nucleic acids tagged with a radioactive molecules is called probe. Question number 28. Law of limiting factors was proposed by F. Blackman. Question number 29. Adaptations are meant for survival. Question number 30. Which combinations is mismatched? Vitamin D rickets, thiamine beriberi, vitamin K sterility, no vitamin K, vitamin E relate करते sterility को, फिर niacin for pellagra। Question number 31. Bohr's effect is the effect of CO2 in oxyhemoglobin. Question number 32. Abrin is also relate of toxin. फिर विन ब्लास्टिन की बात करें, विन ब्लास्टिन इज रिलेट फॉर एंटी कैंसर ड्रग. फिर गम्स की अगर बात करते हैं, गम्स इज आल्सो रिलेट फॉर पॉलीमेरिक. फिर मॉर्फिन की अगर बात करें तो मॉर्फिन इज रिलेट ऑफ एल्केलॉइड. फिर ग्लूट 4 की बात करें, ग्लूट 4 इज आल्सो रिलेट ऑफ प्रोटीन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 33. पेयरिंग ऑफ होमोलोगस क्रोमोसोम्स, सिनेप्टोनिमल कॉम्प्लेक्स सिनेप्सिस. ओके. फिर एक्चुअल interchange of complex segments between two homologous chromosomes is crossing over. फिर protein body formed between paired homologous chromosomes is synaptonymal complex. फिर the cross sept configurations visible at diplotin between homologous chromosomes is chiasmata. Question number 34. Parapodia are present in Nereis. Question number 35. Myelinated nerve fibers are found in cranial and spinal nerves. Okay, unmyelinated fibers is enclosed by Schwann cells that forms a myelin sheath around the axons. No, this is not correct. Unmyelinated nerve fibers are found in autonomous and the somatic neural system. This is correct. Question of 36. करेक्ट बताना है कौन सा. रिमूवल ऑफ ओवरीज ड्यूरिंग द फर्स्ट 3 months of pregnancy lead to terminations of pregnancies, but removal in latest phase has no effect. This is correct. But second, after the first trimester the placenta is fully formed and it secretes sufficient progesterones and hence there is no dependence on ovaries. This is correct. Question number 37. Which of the following is an important intermediate formed in all types of respirations? Pyruvic acid. Question number 38. Length tensions curve in a typical vertebrate sarcomere. Okay. By analysis, the graph art can reduce the muscles contractions. I hope this is not correct. Neither the myosin filaments nor the actin thin filaments change in the length when the sarcomere shortens or stretches. Instead, it is the extent of overlap between actin and myosin filaments that changes. The total tensions produced by a sarcomere is proportional to the total number of cross bridges that can interact with actin filaments, and this number in turn is proportional to the amount of overlap between thick and thin filaments. फिर the tensions produced by the muscles in maximals when the overlap between thick and thin filaments allow the largest number of myosin cross bridges to bind to actin. फिर tensions drops off with increased length because the thick and thin filaments overlap less and fewer cross bridges can bind. फिर tensions drops off with decreased length because thin filaments at the two ends of the sarcomeres begin to collide with each other, preventing further shortening. Question of 39. When the maternal and paternal chromosomes of a homologous pair carry identical alleles at the same locus, the organism is homozygote. Question of 40. What is the role of NAD plus in cellular respirations? It functions as an electron carrier. Question of 41. Global warming is not related with ozone hole oblique depletion is not related. Question of 42. Cancer cells are more easily damaged by radiations than normal cells because they are undergoing rapid divisions. Question of 43. Which elements plays an important role in nitrogen fixation? Molybdenum. Question of 44. Which of the following hormones is injected to induce labors? Oxytocins. Question number 45. Esco sports, Basidio sports, and U sports, all of these are sexual sports. Question number 46. How many plants from the following have corm and underground stems modifications? Ginger, turmeric, and colocasia. Question of 47. In Hydra successions, reed swamps stage is replaced by Mars meadow stage. Question of 48. Read the following statements. Head is triangular in shapes and lies anteriorly at right angles to the longitudinal axis. Okay. Head is formed by the fusions of 9 segments and has restricted mobility. No. फिर antennae of cockroach has sensory receptors for monitoring environment. This is correct. Mushrooms gland are present in fourth and sixth abdominal segments in male cockroach. No. Question of 49. In pteridophytes, the sporophytes plant's body is diploid with most primitive vascular tissue. फिर is differentiate into roots, them, stems and leaf and beards sporangia. Question 50. The unequivocal proof that DNA is the genetic material came from the experiments of Alfred Hersey and Martha Chase. Question 51. The movement of organs in response to light is called phototropism. Question 52. During sexual reproduction, characters are transmitted through gametes. Question 53. Two species competing for the same resource can avoid competitions by choosing different habits. This phenomena is called resource partitioning and was supported by MacArthur. Question 54. Which is the national aquatic animals of India? River dolphin. Question 55. Which of the following is not the use of genetically modified plant? Amplifications of nucleic acid is not related but enhance nutritional quality of food. करेक्ट है ये. हेल्प टू reduce post harvest losses ये भी करेक्ट है. प्रोड्यूस बायोफार्मास्यूटिकल्स प्लांट ये भी करेक्ट है. Question of 56. In girdling experiments on the trunk of an tree, a ring of bark up to depth of the phloem's layers can be carefully removed. Question of 57. Which of the following organisms is not used during biocontrol methods? Monascus purpureus is not related, but Bacillus thuringiensis, Trichoderma, ladybird beetles are correct. इसमें बताना है the above schematics diagrams which is प्लास्टोसाइन. ओके, प्लास्टोसाइन की बात करते हैं, ये ऑप्शन डी को रिप्रेजेंट करता है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 59. In dicot plants, after triple fusion, the central cell and zygote would develop into respectively endosperms and embryo. Question number 60. Sieve cells can be traced in gymnosperms and pteridophytes. Question number 61. Transplantations of tissue oblique organs to save certain species often fails due to rejections of such tissues organs by the patients. Which type of immune response is responsible for such rejections? Cell-mediated immune response. Question number 62. Trypanosoma pallidum cause syphilis. Question number 63. Which floral formula is correct for chili? Actinomorphic, hermaphrodite, pentacarpellary, okay, monoecious, Nifsolinaceae का members है chili. Question 64. Which is correct sequence of arrangement of the type of WBC in decreasing order in the terms of numbers per millimeter of the human's blood? Neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils. Question number 65. Decomposers like bacteria and fungi are not autotrophs but heterotrophs, saprotrophs, osmotrophs. Correct है. और question number 66. Read the following statements about the lichens. Identify the wrong ones. Some species are eaten by reindeers. ये correct है. Lichens are indicators of pollutions. ये भी correct है. Like they grow rapidly about 2 centimeters per day. No. Question number 67. The role of sigma factor in bacterial RNA polymerase is to bind RNA polymerase enzymes correctly on the promoter's region. Question number 68. Find the incorrect which match with respect to threatened species in the world. Amphibians 42%. Question number 69. In a double helix model of DNA, how far is each base pair from the next? 0.34 nanometer. Question number 70. True and false बताना है. Meiosis first is unequals in females during oogenesis. ये true है. The cells that undergo spermatogenesis arise by both mitosis and meiosis from spermatogonia. ये false है. फिर during the multiplication phase of spermatogenesis, spermatids are converted into spermatozoa. This is false, but option D. The first meiotic divisions during oogenesis is completed in the tertiary follicles. Excretory matters inhibit the uric acid. Question number 73. Consumptions of alcohols may lead to lowering of blood glucose level in the body, synthesis of fat in liver, accumulations of acetaldehyde in liver. All of these are correct. Question number 74. The term used when there is no distinctions between non-essential or accessory floral organs is perianth. Question number 75. In the spinal cord, white matter is around the gray matter. Question number 76. The stroke volume multiplied by the heart rate gives the cardiac output is correct. Where the second heart sound is associated with the closure of semilunar nerves valves. ये correct है. Question number 77. Hormones produce their effect on the target tissue by binding to specific proteins called hormone receptors located in the target tissues. Only water soluble hormones usually need membrane bound receptors that generate secondary okay. उसके बाद फिर messengers of the regulating cellular metabolism where lipids soluble can pass through cell membrane and interact with intracellular receptors and mostly regulate gene expressions for chromosomes functions of interactions of hormones receptor for complex with the genomes. Question number 78. All the following statements apply of the microtubules except छोड़ के. Okay, they make up the ethnes myofilaments actin in skeletal muscle. Correct है. Question number 79. Disadvantage features of the mesenchyme in a coelomate is restricted movements. Question number 80. The number of ends in a glycogen molecules would be equal to the numbers of branches plus 1. Question number 81. Two key concepts of Darwinian's theory: natural selection's branching descent. Question number 82. The soil near the surface is usually darker than about 1 meters down. This is because the topsoil contains more organic matter. क्वेश्चन नंबर 83, पेरीट्राइकस flagellations is Escherichia coli. Question number option B, living fossils. Living fossils is, आई होप, जिंको बाइलोबा। फिर राइजोफोर की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो राइजोफोर इज रिलेटेड ऑफ सिलेजिनेला। ऑप्शन डी, स्मॉलेस्ट फ्लावरिंग प्लांट इज वोल्फिया। लार्जेस्ट पेरिनियल एल्गा इज मैक्रोसिस्टिस। Question 84. The individuals with karyotype 47XXY shows Klinefelter syndromes. Question 85. Select the incorrect pair with the followings. Opposite pathway equal to Alstone. Question 86. Diatoms are usually in that their vegetative cells are typically diploid. Question 87. Statement is correct about autoradiography. The probe will not have complementary with the mutated gene. Mutated gene. Question number 88. Glaucoma is due to increase in intraocular pressures. Question number 89. Diameters of DNA is about 20 angstrom. Question number 90. Select the incorrect statements. Okay. The pancreatic juice contains inactive enzymes, that is trypsinogens, chymotrypsinogens, and procarboxypeptidase. फिर option B is not correct. Chymotrypsins is activated by an enzyme enterokinase secreted by the intestinal mucosa into active chymotrypsins. इस प्रकार आपके 90 क्वेश्चन कंप्लीट होते हैं। आई होप आप लोगों को वीडियो पसंद आएगी। प्लीज़ वीडियो को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लाइक एंड शेयर करें, और जिन लोगों ने अभी तक मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है प्लीज़ उन लोग चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें। थैंक यू सो मच वॉच फॉर दिस वीडियो, और मिलते हैं एक नए वीडियो के साथ।